Hello, my wonderful, wonderful people, and welcome back! Now, as you can tell, this vlog starts a little bit different because you can see me. Most of the times you only see me and hear me talking at the end of the vlog, or you just have a VO. But this time I decided I will show my face at the start and then we will do a little VO and then you will see me at the end again. Now, why are you seeing me? That's a good question, and it's easy to answer. You are seeing me because in this vlog I was visiting Duisburg for the first time. Now, before we start with the whole vlog and me explaining some things about Duisburg and the Ruhrgebiet and anything else, I just wanted to make one thing clear. This is not a recommendation. I know this sounds weird, but let me explain. Normally I would not have visited Duisburg. I've never been to Duisburg, and although it was interesting walking around there, I probably won't visit it again. Only if there's a really good reason. And I had a really good reason this time, and that was meeting two of my friends. They themselves are not living there, but because we visited a little shop there that was run by a friend of my friends, we decided to meet up in Duisburg instead of a different city that would have been easy for all of us to go to. Now, as a German, I think it was interesting to see the city, and I think I should see more and more different cities in Germany because there's a lot of things I have never seen. And there's probably a lot of things where I can say, hey, you should go there, you should visit. Now, Duisburg is definitely not one of them. So before we start the whole vlog, I just wanted to make sure you understand that this is interesting, and it was interesting walking around there, and I'm going to explain a lot about the Ruhrgebiet now to you, but mostly this was just fun for meeting a friend, and it's not really a travel recommendation. So please now enjoy the footage and a little bit of VO so I can explain a little bit more about the Ruhrgebiet and why it's so special. See you after. So, as I said at the start, Duisburg is part of the Ruhrgebiet. The Ruhrgebiet is a quite densely populated area in Germany, and it contains a lot of bigger cities. So in comparison, if you take the train from Hamburg to Münster, your train ride will take approximately 2 hours, but the train won't stop. We have trains, as everywhere, that are like local trains that stop at every tiny little village, at every tiny little city. But between Münster and Hamburg, there is no big city. So there's not a lot of places. Okay, that's a little bit of a lie. I don't know why the train doesn't stop in Osnabrück, but yeah, Osnabrück is not that big, so probably that's why. But it's my university city, so just if you're interested. Now, going back to the Ruhrgebiet, here it's different. I took an express train from the city that's close to my grandparents to Duisburg. And in between, there's a lot of bigger cities that you might have heard of and that you might know. So you're stopping in Dortmund, you're stopping in Essen, you're stopping in Bochum. This is the Ruhrgebiet. There's a lot of bigger cities right next to each other. Now, the Ruhrgebiet is mostly famous for its industry. And it's also mostly famous for the fact that here you would find the highest concentration of coal. So the Ruhrgebiet had a lot of coal mines and a lot of miners and a lot of workers. And these conditions are reflected in the city. Nowadays, a lot of the mines are closed. I'm not sure if there even is any open mines anymore. I think so, but really, there's only like a handful left. most of them have been closed, and most of them have been closed for quite some time. I think like in the 90s they closed off a lot of the coal mines in the Ruhrgebiet. This also means that a lot of the cities were not as fancy as other cities. So these cities are where workers live, where miners live, where the feeling is way more down to earth than coming, for example, here to Hamburg, where everything seems to be posh, or maybe even going to Berlin, where everything seems to be hip and fancy. And not all of the cities are this work related anymore, but a bunch of them still are, and you can feel that. And Duisburg is one of those cities where I would say it still feels a little bit more, let's call it down to earth, than other cities. So it's not completely uninteresting walking around here, but it's also it seems more like a big village than it does like a big city, even though it's not a small town, it's not a small village, it is a city. It even has a little harbor, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes. And it just feels a bit different. It feels a little bit... I think the city still has a lot of potential, so that's all I'm going to say. It was interesting walking around here, but I think there are other cities that might be more interesting if you want to see that, and there might be some cities you have heard of that are like that might be more interesting because you've heard of them and because you have like a connection to them. For me, I do have a connection to the Ruhrgebiet, which is through my grandparents and through the fact that I've spent a lot of summers, a lot of summer vacations with them and near Dortmund, and I've listened to a lot of Pott, which is the slang for the dialect spoken in the Ruhrgebiet. And I have a big love for everything that's surrounding this. So, yeah. So this is also why I love Busan so much, because when I hear people speak Satori and speak Busan Satori, to me it feels like hearing a German person speaking Pott. It warms my heart and it feels like home. Now, I'm going to leave you with the rest of the footage, and I will see you once the footage is done, and I'll be back to say my goodbyes. But I hope you enjoy this, and if you have any questions about the Ruhrgebiet, I'm going to tell you now. You can leave them in the comment section below, and I will try to answer them. I'm not really an expert on it, but yeah. So, see you at the end of the video. So I hope you enjoyed this little trip to Duisburg. Maybe you're now interested in visiting it as well. I kinda doubt it, but if you do, tell me in the comment section. I would love to know. If you're from Duisburg, tell me if there's anything I missed, because I only walked through the inner city and the shopping street. In Germany we call the part where you go shopping most of the times, we call that Innenstadt. So that's why I call it inner city. And I only went there, and then I went to the little harbor and back. So I only had around like 2 hours that I spent there. Maybe I missed something. Maybe there's something that people should visit. Special zoo or some interesting museum or anything. If there is, feel free to leave it in the comment section below so people may find it. Other than that, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to stay up to date for the next vlogs. I still have one left for the Ruhrgebiet. I also have one left for Hamburg, but we'll keep that a little bit in our vault because I am going on more little travels. For example, this weekend I am doing something and you will see soon, and you will see the ocean, which we have not seen in quite some time. And I've also planned a trip to Berlin. So yeah, I thought I was done with traveling, but apparently I'm not. And that's good, because that's what I want to do. I would love to make this like a full-time thing and to grow this even more and to show you as much as possible, and maybe even more places where you go, okay, I'm not sure if I want to visit there, but thanks for showing me. So yeah, subscribe so you don't miss any of my travels, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, stay healthy, and I'm going to leave you with a heartfelt bye!